All right, this is our hip thrust machine. Love these things. All right. Now, before I get into this, I want to say that a hip thrust movement is very functional and essential for the human being who's going to live and wants to have a strong and resilient body. You need to be able to extend. So I guess real quick before we start, extending of the hips looks like this. Oh wow, I did not expect that to happen. So extending of the hips is basically just pushing the hips forward. That's extending. So flexing the hips looks like this. I'm flexing here. Extending the hips is extending the hips forward. Okay, so that's basically what you're doing on here. That's going to target the glutes. It's going to target the hamstrings a little bit too. Now, the farther my feet are out and up, the more I'm going to get the hamstrings involved, okay? The wider I go, the more I'm going to put a little bit more percentage of tension on the sort of inner portion of my legs. And the more close I go, it's going to be a slight percentage bias on the outside of the backside of my legs. Again, very small percentage. It's not drastic, but if you were to do it, you would feel the difference, I'm sure. I'm just going to go for the sake of just finding a good neutral, normal position. So what you'll do is you'll be in this position. I think I'm supposed to wrap these up. That'd be helpful. Hold on one sec. There we go. Okay. So you'll want to wrap this belt up. It's a little tight on me, so hold on one sec. Jeez. There we go. So you'll click that belt in. Now, get it tight. You'll lift up. Those things fall, which means that it's now up to me. Okay, lay your head back. And then basically just let your butt and hip fall. Okay? And you see I'm all the way down here. All right? Once I get down here, I'm going to press up. Okay? Now, nice, slow, and controlled. Do a full stretch. I don't want to rest down here. So I'm going to stop right before I touch, or maybe I might tap it. But I'm going to stay here, and then I'm going to thrust up. Okay? Now, my feet, if I'm doing this, I can already feel my hamstrings are getting a lot of work. So I actually, in this specific machine, am going to do this because I like my glutes to get all of the focus specifically. So really focus on going all the way up, but don't like bend your back, okay? What I want you to think about is at the top, you should always keep your ribs in your pelvic region squeezed together, okay? I showed that in another video. So squeeze this together even as you go down and even as you go up. Keep those squeezed together. So I will often touch my stomach to make sure it doesn't stretch on me, okay? By doing that, you make sure that your core and that your glutes are able to take on all of that tension, and that way you're protected. Because if you don't keep your core tight and you do this and you start going up in weight, sometimes you can start to experience a little bit of lower back, like aches or pinches, and it's because you're not using your core to stabilize and support your back on that. So that's how you build your glutes. Hip extension, great form. I'll say that this is not the absolute best booty builder, despite what women commonly think. It is essential to building a good, strong set of glutes, but this is not the best or even top exercise for building bigger glutes. So depending on what your goal is, use this. Definitely bring it into your programs and use it on a monthly basis, but you should do other things that build the booty more if that is your goal. So this is the hip thrust. Everybody should be using it, in my opinion.